You hear doctors talking about how they changed the method, how they used the ultrasound to turn the child around, how they used a different technique than they would have normally done because they wanted to be able to gather these organs for sale. Those are serious accusations. These are children.
That was Republican Senator James Lankford moments before the Senate failed to advance his bill to defund Planned Parenthood. So where does the fight go from here? Let's bring in Oklahoma Senator James Lankford. Senator, thanks for being on New Day.
You bet. Glad to be with you, Allison.
So your effort failed this week to defund Planned Parenthood, and it sounds like from the numbers crunchers and the pundits that it would be very hard for you to reach that magical 67 number in the Senate that would be veto proof in order to defund Planned Parenthood. So where do you go next?
Yeah, there ongoing investigations have already started in the House. They will also happen in the Senate. This is something that needs to be very seriously considered. When you talk about the potential of hundreds of thousands of children that have died, and that these children are being taken, their organs are being taken and sold off, I think Americans are horrified by that, and I think rightfully so. And so this very, very serious issue is in front of the American people, which quite frankly, most people don't want to look at. But in reality, if you're selling human organs, that had to come from humans. And so we're trying to figure out where do we connect the dots here with the American people and have this conversation that is long overdue.
Senator, you say that they're selling human organs. Planned Parenthood says that these are donated to science. The middleman, the biotech companies say that these are donated to science. They have to get the consent of the woman in order to do this. And by the way, right, if they're not donated for scientific research, these are fetal tissue that's discarded. Do you believe it is better to have science and research work on fetal tissue in order to come up with vaccines, as they have, in order to find treatments and cures for Parkinson's or, say, Alzheimer's? Is donation to science better than discarding?
Sure. Okay. Well, there's several issues in that, Allison. Let me get a chance to talk through a couple of those. One is I understand the woman is giving consent, and that's terrific because that follows that protocol. Obviously, the child that's being killed is not being asked to give consent as well. So that's a big issue. We really see two people that are there. They have uniquely different DNA. You've got someone with a heart, with a liver, with fingers and toes. These are children that are, many of them are at 16 to 20 weeks. That's 5 months old. And so for a 5-month-old child, this is obviously killing that child and then taking it and using their organs for research. That's number one. Then there are two other issues. The compensation issue, which several of the videos have come out where there's a haggling over the price. So it doesn't seem to be just a reimbursement. It seems to be how high can we go to be able to get it. And then the second issue is a legal issue. The law is very clear. You cannot change the timing, procedure, or method of an abortion so that you can harvest those organs. Yep. And it's very clear over and over again. They're shifting the angle. They say that I crush a different part. I'm using a different technique so that I can gather this child to be able to sell the organs.
We spoke to Planned Parenthood's vice president this week who says that they comply with all laws. But let me show you, Senator, some public opinion polls on all of these issues because they are telling. Number one, should scientists use fetal tissue for research? 58% of Americans polled say yes. 33% say no. Let me show you the next poll that I think you'll also find interesting. Should the government defund Planned Parenthood? 39% say yes, 49% say no. And then finally, should abortion be legal? The first question is yes, under any circumstances, 29%. Yes, under certain circumstances, 51% of respondents say yes. Under no circumstances, only 19% of Americans say that. So if you add up the first two categories, which are the yes categories, that's 80% of respondents who believe that abortion should be kept legal. So it doesn't sound as though Americans' support is on your side.
You know what, I'd be interested to be able to see the background on that because I've never seen a survey or any kind of opinion poll that is that high. Most every opinion poll that I've seen has been 50-50 with the American people, so I'd be interested to see how that one was questioned. Well, obviously, I don't know that one to know how it was done, but I would tell you that I've had overwhelming response from my own state, from people that say if it has fingers and toes, if it has a beating heart, if it has a mind, and if it has kidneys that are all being gathered, that sounds like a child to me, and you've got a child that's at the exact same spot Two different children, in fact. One is at an OBGYN, there's a sonogram, and they're celebrating counting fingers and toes, and the other one is over at a Planned Parenthood facility, and they're going to kill that child.
Here's what's telling.
There is a stark reality.
And here's what's telling about these polls. One was Gallup, obviously a very credible source. Two are Monmouth University, also a credible source. And what's telling is that these are recent. These are from the past month. Actually, the Gallup one is from May 10th. So in the past couple of months, in other words, what you're talking about, it used to be more evenly divided. But what we're seeing now is that it is the biggest discrepancy between, yes, abortion should stay legal, yes, people are more pro-choice than they are pro-life, that we've seen in 8 years. So the tide seems to be turning away from your position.
Well, again, I'm going to have to see some of the trends on that. May 10th obviously was well before any of these videos came out. But I would also tell you, younger Americans are more pro-life than the previous younger Americans. When you look at a sonogram now with the 3D sonograms and you get greater detail, people are able to look inside the womb even more than ever and to be able to see that that really is a child. And over again, we see individuals, if they go in during their pregnancy and they're considering an abortion, if they have the sonogram and they look at the child first, they understand that really is a child. And overwhelmingly, moms that see a sonogram choose to keep their baby rather than abort that baby.
Senator, very quickly, yes or no, are you willing to shut down the government over defunding Planned Parenthood?
You know, that's not a yes or no question. That's actually a question that gets thrown around a lot, that a lot of folks have thrown up on Capitol Hill because they like the drama of all this. The focus that I have is, number one, keeping the government open. Number two, that I'm actually very focused on children. And I think children really do matter. And that if we're taking children like this and we're actually destroying them and then selling off their body parts, I think that's a significant national issue and requires this kind of conversation.
Senator James Lankford, we appreciate your time. Thanks for being on New Day. What's your take on all of this? Please tweet us using the hashtag NewDayCNN. You can also post your comment on Facebook.com/NewDay. Let's get to Michaela.
Bad news for Hillary Clinton. The FBI is investigating the security of her private email server, and she is in a statistical dead heat with Bernie Sanders in New Hampshire. John King's going to take a look at how all of this impacts the race for the Democratic nomination. Inside Politics ahead.